Welcome to the show, guys. Joseph Robert here, Fantasy Football Counselor. We are streaming live virtual tailgate, 11 a.m. here. What is going on, everybody? We are live. We're going to talk about the latest news and notes. We're going to preview every single matchup. If it's your first time tuning in, make sure you guys smash a thumbs up and leave your comments below. We'll be trying to read some of the comments as we go. And I've got Zach on here. We're talking the latest news and notes before we get rolling here with the week. What's going on, Zach?
Not too much. How about you, Joe?
I'm doing great, man. What's happening?
All right, so we got some injury news here. We got Joe Mixon placed on IR. What they said was not a major injury. Now he's been out for multiple weeks and he's going on IR. So Giovanni Bernard's going to be big coming through the stretch in fantasy. We have Drew Brees also on IR. I've heard that his estimated timetable could be week 15 for a return. That's possible. So Taysom Hill is currently starting. We'll see how he does. Jameis Winston might give them the best chance to win if they start losing some games with Taysom. We also have Josh Hill, Myles Garrett, Zach Ertz, Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, Kenny Golladay, some big names that are going to be out. Sam Darnold also isn't playing. And then Myles Gaskin's still on IR. But Kenny Stills is supposed to be playing this week. Same with Laremy Tunsil for the Houston Texans. We have Alan Lazard, who's making his comeback this week. He should have a good game. And Matthew Stafford will play. One thing to note for Teddy Bridgewater there. Teddy Bridgewater, he finished his pregame workout. He's not showing a limp, and he didn't do his pregame workout with a brace or anything. So we'll see what happens there. Matt Rule still has to make the final decision on that.
Yeah, it's been crazy with injuries, man. I mean, this whole year has been absolutely nuts. But, I mean, this last-minute decision. So if you are in fantasy and you want to think of Teddy Bridgewater, I think he might be limited. So be cautious there, okay? Thanks, Zach. We appreciate it, man. Let's move on to the matchups here. Let's start off with Doug Lee. Doug, what's going on, man? Miami Dolphins, they're playing today. They've been red hot. What are your expectations going into this game?
What's up, Joe, man? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know, the last few weeks I've been a little nervous, you know, taking on the Arizona Cardinals, really good team, taking on the Rams, really good team. This game, I'm a little bit more confident being that, you know, Broncos are still a decent team, but they're banged up. And, you know, Dolphins, like you said, red hot right now, 15 consecutive games with this Dolphin defense causing at least one turnover. Tua Tagovailoa playing hot. I'm very, very confident in this team. And I honestly think that the Dolphins, I normally am very conservative with my picks, but I think the Dolphins are going to win big today. I'm saying 28-14 win today, taking on this Denver Bronco team in Denver. Expect some big games from this Dolphin team.
Be honest with me, completely honest with me. Going into this season, had you imagined, I mean, you got to be optimistic, but let's be realistic here. Do you honestly think that going into, you know, week 11, Dolphins were looking as good as they are now? Did you picture this type of record, this type of momentum going this far into the season?
Looking at the schedule when it first came out, I always thought, you know, the Dolphins won 5 games when they probably shouldn't have won any last year. And looking at the schedule, I was like, they could be in a bunch of these games, but I saw a lot of games like hard teams to beat. 49ers, Seattle, Rams, still the Chiefs, you know, the Bills were still going to be a team to contend with. I actually had a pre-season record prediction of 8-8. I had them, you know, doing better than 5-11. I thought they added a ton of talent, so they were going to get a little bit better, but it's still a process. But no, I didn't see 6-3, and I didn't see them being as hot as they are now, but I'll take every minute of it though.
Yeah, man, I'm genuinely happy for you. I think you finally got a guy that could be the franchise quarterback moving forward. I think you've got some great tools moving forward. I'm excited for you, man, honestly. Like, I wasn't expecting them performing this well week 11. The record that they have is pretty amazing. Can they challenge the Bills, though? That's a big question. We've seen the Bills. I don't know if they're completely bulletproof, but how do they stand in the division, really?
I honestly think, and it's funny because me and my dad, who's a huge Dolphin fan, we were talking about this on Wednesday. I think when it comes down to week 17, when the Dolphins take on the Bills in Buffalo, I think both the Dolphins and the Bills will be 10-5 going into that game. And the winner of that game is going to take the division. I honestly think that's the way that's going to play out. And it's going to be a huge pivotal game to see who gets a wild card spot versus who gets a division title spot. regardless, I think the Dolphins and the Bills will be making the playoffs, but it all depends on which spot they will be in. It's gonna the AFC East is now incredibly competitive. Besides, unfortunately,
The Jets.
No offense, the Jets.
Nobody cares. I don't even see Ian. I don't know if Ian's on. I apologize if he's in. Our Jets guy, I think he's kind of checked out for the season. I don't know. Maybe he's just today's off. But yeah, man, I kind of feel bad for the Jets. I mean, at this point, they want that. They're going to get the first overall pick at this point, the Jets, and I mean, well deserved.
Keeping Adam Gase around just so they can definitely get Trevor Lawrence and then they'll start building around him and they'll start winning. I'm telling you, this AFC East is going to be super, super competitive. It's going to be fun to watch.
I know we got to move on here, but I do feel bad for Lawrence. I do. I mean, it sucks when they enter a situation like that, man. You got so much talent and then you enter this type of situation. They gotta get him some protection. They got to get him some receivers as well because it's just not good.
I think that's the biggest difference between what the Jets are doing and what the Dolphins did. The Dolphins put themselves in a situation where they continually have picks to do what you're saying and build a team around their future quarterback. They still have 2 1s this year and 2 2s again this upcoming draft. They set themselves up to and they still have a ton of cap. So I think that's the biggest difference. But yeah, it's the future for this Miami Dolphins organization is really high, really hot, and it's being a Dolphin fan for the past 25 years. It's fun to finally see them after the past 15 years doing really well.
Yeah, man. Congrats, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on, Doug. We appreciate it. We got to move on here to Tennessee and Baltimore. Thanks, Doug.
No problem.
Have a good one. All right, where are you? Mark, are you here?
How's it going, Joe?
Listen, I got a lot of questions for you. Good to see you, man. Listen, you guys are the dog here. I don't know. Was it last week you lost? I'm seeing some uncertainty here. You guys looked good in certain weeks, probably earlier in the season. Now I'm not seeing the same confidence. What's going on here, man? I want to see you guys win today. Tough defense too.
It's the defense, it's special teams, and it's a lack of production on offense because they don't get as many snaps. So it's not necessarily Ryan Tannehill's fault. Derrick Henry's been going over 100 yards. He's had 200 yards games this year where we've lost. That's the first time ever. So I think we're 16-2 as a team. And it's frustrating when the Colts have run 60 plays because our defense can't get off the stinking field. But yet the Titans have only run 30 plays, but yet we're finger pointing at Ryan Tannehill maybe taking a step back, or A.J. Brown dropped a big ball last week. Corey Davis maybe not getting as many targets. Jonnu Smith having to stay home and block because Taylor Lewan's out. So it's a mess. I do want to give props to Corey Davis. He played last week, even though he lost his brother. And I think his brother died of cancer.
What?
I know it was very, very hard on the team. It was hard on Corey Davis. I think he turned around within 48 hours and played. So I want to give him a lot of credit. And he actually played probably the best for any of our wide receivers. So shout out to him.
Wow. I didn't hear about that. How old was his brother?
I think 27. Titus. He used to play for one season with the Bears and 2017 maybe. So.
And how did he lose him?
Some form of cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a rare form, and that I'm not really sure which part of it. I can't really remember at this point in time, but he fought through it. He played, and I give him tons of credit for it. I think they even showed him on the sidelines crying at one point. I mean, obviously it was a big deal, but the Titans were up 17-13 in that game, and then the block punt, the 17-yard punt, special teams is what did him in for.
So we got Joe Nubo. Joe, are you here?
I am here. I made it.
Welcome. So you guys can battle it out here for a couple minutes. I'm just going to let you guys battle it out on predictions, score predictions, and expectations for this game.
I got a question for Joe, if you guys don't mind. So Joe, just breaking down this game, I think the rematch, but these teams are different. They're not the same teams from last year. I think maybe you guys have circled this. You can't fall much more behind the Steelers for sure. But I had a question breaking down the Ravens. What's going on with the red zone? How does a top 5, top 6 defense in the league, number 32 in red zone defense? Could you explain that to me? Because you guys are second in third down, right, to get off the field. Is it just